Thank you, friends. You've been very patient, but now the moment you have all been waiting for. The senior speaker who you have elected to present, Mr. Robert Nishimwe.
Well, first of all, I really don't understand why you guys would trust me to speak up here, but all right. So good afternoon. Welcome, students, parents, teachers, friends, and other guests to Central's 2018 senior ceremony. Now, I will be honest, I'm not quite sure, again, as to why you all, I should say the majority of you chose me to give this speech. As we have seen in the last presidential election, people don't always choose the quote-unquote, again I say quote-unquote, right person. So if I don't impress you this evening, blame it on the democratic process. So I was born in Wakanda. No, I'm playing with you. I was actually born in Tanzania, September 18th of 1999, which means if you're born after this date, I'm your elder and you have to respect me. So at the age of 2, I lost my biological mother due to lack of medical treatment within the refugee camp that I was staying in Tanzania. Reminiscing back on this event at times is difficult and hard, but I think to myself, how could I have possibly learned to enjoy the goodness of life if I had not come to terms with all that it entails? Finally, at age 8, my family and I moved to Des Moines, Iowa, the south side of Des Moines. I had zero knowledge and understanding of the English language. I couldn't fully process as to why rice fell from the skies. And I like to understand Americans' obsessions with pets. As they say in Wakanda, so primitive. As much as not being able to speak English was a disadvantage within the sphere of academia, I was able to harness the disadvantage into an opportunity. One focused on the idea of hard work and self-determination to reach success. This shift in lines of my disadvantage plus the support of others led me a spot into Prep Academy. I remember feeling excited and so smart to have been selected as one of a few middle school students to be attending the academy. I felt like all the hard work was finally paying off. Then I entered Ms. Linehan's math class, and the fast-paced curriculum had me doubting and questioning as to why I was ever chosen to attend the academy in the first place. I felt like I was the dumbest person in the world until I started asking my table mates questions, and then I came to realize that we were all sinking in the Titanic. Saying this, knowing that there are the exceptions, such as the Jimmy Lees and the Nia Davises, who seem to be able to put up with the pressure that came with these math classes. During my Prep Academy year, I was in classes that were, to the most part, diverse in terms of social, economic, cultural, and gender backgrounds, and etc. I felt comfortable, peaceful, and welcomed by my peers. Robert did not have to be someone else. I could just be whoever my 7th grade self was. Then, on the first day of 8th grade academy, I entered my biology class, and I wondered to myself if there's a memo that had went out to everyone but me. The first thing I did when I sat down in my class was look around and started counting the numbers of brothers and sisters. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's black folks in there. And, the number was about 3, including me. Happy to face this new reality, I started to become extra conscious about myself in ways that I hadn't had to in the past. The way I dressed, the way I talked, I had to learn how to code switch depending on the environment that I was in. I didn't want to sound too quote-unquote black, but I also did not want to go back to my home school and sound quote-unquote too white. My life became a duality. There were times when I wanted to give up and never come back to the Central Academy, not just solely due to the intense curriculum, but because I was at an institution that I felt and had experienced in so many ways was not accepting of me. Having said that, I chose not to leave. First because I knew what a benefit Central Academy's academics would be to my success in college, and second because my African father told me, Roberts, you have to go to college, but I cannot pay for it. So you better work hard to find someone else who will. Talk about parental encouragement. And I don't say any of this to put a bad name on the Academy and all the great work that's done there, but to highlight my most authentic experience. As I told you before, if you're not impressed, blame it on the democratic process. As much as the Academy has been challenging, and not only to myself, but to all of us here in this room, I have learned to form relationships with my peers that involved cooperating and incorporating our strengths to succeed together in this curriculum-intensive environment. I have learned to think about my own biases and stereotypes of those who are different than me, such as Jerry and Luke, to develop an inclusive environment. And yes, I will admit that I still struggle with this. I have learned to challenge my peers and teachers in the face of controversial debates or misunderstandings. I have learned that grades aren't everything, but that we as students are more than just letters on a grade report. I have learned through the work of Speak that my mental health as a student comes first before anything else. I have learned from CORE that we as students of color also do belong at the Academy. And I hope that the Academy continues to support students of all different identities so that one day we can truly call Central Academy an inclusive education center. As we embark upon the next journey of our lives, I ask that we become more conscious of how our language, actions, and beliefs impact the lives of others. Sitting in this room are future public servants, doctors, engineers, entertainers, lawyers, teachers, and more. Each of us will have a personal responsibility to make sure that the work that we do brings forth a better society for those who come after us. Central Academy's class of 2018 is the best looking, brightest, and most woke class in the Academy's history. Oh, don't kid yourselves. I've been in class with some of you and, well, say no more. I'm just playing with you guys. We're not special in any way, shape, or form, but we sure are and will be a force to be reckoned with. Congratulations to the class of 2018 and the generation that eats Tide Pods as hashtag challenges. Wakanda forever, the Black Panther lives. Peace, and Bobby out. Thank you, everyone.